Okay, so this is the first screen that you should see when you open up the West Point Bridge Designer software program. It starts off with some tips. I'm just going to close that. What you're going to want to do is create a new bridge design. So click OK. Uh, this basically just talks about the map that you'll see. Obviously, there's a little river right here, and you're going to have to build a bridge to go across it. This used to be software used for entering a national contest, but that contest doesn't work and we don't want to enter it, so we just go with no and then hit next. Here's where you can actually change the construction site if you want. You can add basically little tie-down points, these cable anchorages, if you want to be able to connect a cable to the land and not the bridge. I'm going to go with no. And then for a pier, you can actually add a little tiny, basically a pier that goes in the river, something where you'll be able to attach beams to if you wanted to do like a little double arch type thing. I'm going to go with no pier for this demo. You can also select just how much you want to dig this site out right here. You do like 16 meters, you want 8 meters. It just says how much you've dug out. There's always a site cost involved. Obviously, digging is expensive, and so that makes the site cost go up. If we go with just the original 24 meters, you can see 63,000 is your starting money or starting cost. If we wanted to drop it all the way down, it'd be 138. So cost matters. I'm going to choose something in the middle just because it'll be quick for me to do the demo. And then next. You can choose type of concrete you want to use. Note how the money changes again based on what you choose. I'm going to go with high strength concrete. And then the type of loading, this is another contest related thing. In order to keep it fair, just go with the standard truck loading for 2 lanes. All right, so we hit next. This template is, if you're not sure how to go about building a bridge or what design you want to try, you can just click a template and then it'll just kind of throw up in the background some spots for you to, basically different ways to design your bridge. I'm going to go with none. And then you can put your name on it if you want. Doesn't really matter. Okay, and then this is kind of the steps you run through in order to make your bridge. So as the first screen, we've got different tools. So basically it's the joints, the beams, and then erasing and selecting things. So I'm going to start off with just a very simple design. I'm just going to drop down a couple of joints here. The guidelines help you to evenly space things out. And then it used to be you had to draw these one at a time, like just drawing like that. Like I've just put a steel beam right there. But if you draw all of them, it now just kind of assumes that, oh, you wanted to create things. So now I'm selecting these beams one at a time, and you can see it corresponds to the chart over here. So this bridge won't work as is. I've got some issues where I've made some joints that aren't connected to anything, and so if I try and test it by clicking this button up here, it tells me, oh, it's not going to work. All right, so what I need to do is make sure, whoops, that I've gone and connected everything, and then after I draw all my beams on, this is a very simple design. Okay, if I want to test it, I go click the button. So it looks like a little truck driving over a bridge. Test it. Oh, you can see my bridge is sagging already. And it appears the truck is going to make it across. So I just successfully made a bridge. The colors tell you what type of stress the beams are under. Red means they're being compressed, and blue means they're being stretched. This is compression force and a tension force. And if I'm not satisfied with my design, I can always click this button, go back into the design, and then change things up. You can see my bridge is $281,000. Maybe I want to make it cheaper. Maybe I save some money. Well, this beam, okay, the thickness of your beams, I can drag and select all of them. Thickness of my beams determines the cost. Right now they're all 140 by 140. If I made them a little skinnier, say 120, oh, I just saved some money. All right, the 140s were 281, 120 is 241. I just saved 40 grand by making skinnier beams. let's see if the bridge still holds up. And it turns out, no, it doesn't. All right, so I can go back to this menu and it shows me which beams failed. All right, these two beams failed because they were basically crushed to death. So I'm going to select both of these guys. You can do that by either clicking on them here or you can click on them in the bar over on the side. But I'm going to grab them. And then I just want to make these guys a little bit thicker. Let's put these back up at 140 and then let's test and see if that fixed the problem. Oh, just barely. You can see these beams didn't turn as bright red as the ones next to them. They're thicker, they're stronger, and God, that one's got to be almost near its collapse point. But just by kind of going back and forth, play with your bridge, play with different designs. You can put joints anywhere, just about, as long as they're on the grid. You can actually show yourself, like, get super accurate by changing just how, like the type of grid, if you want to be really precise in changing things. So just kind of play around with it, see what you can do, and yeah, make your cheapest bridge you can.